Hey there, how are you? Power Automate is a power platform cornerstone and it's a super powerful and versatile tool. But does that mean that there is no place for classic workflows anymore? My name is Jorge Daniel and in this video I will do a head-to-head between a Power Automate Cloudflow and a classic workflow. For those of you who are unfamiliar with classic workflows, these come from the CRM Dynamics 365 world and allow you to configure triggers and actions much like Power Automate. With the rise of Power Automate, workflows got the classic title and went somewhat under the radar. But there are scenarios where they still make a lot of sense. In this one, we are submitting expenses and we have this primary column name here that we want to fill automatically with data from other columns, namely the username, the date, and the expense type. In a nutshell, we want to look at the primary column and get much of all the essential information about the record right there. Let's start with the Power Automate Cloudflow. So from your solution, click New, Automation, Cloudflow, and Automate it. Skip this one. And our trigger will be when a new row is added to our database table expenses. And now we can insert an action to get the row that was created, and in that way get all the information about that record. So expenses, and the record is the one that was just created. Let's give this a name, new expense, and just before creating all the other actions we need, namely updating the name column on that row, let's do a run on this one so we can also go over the thought process. So let's make a new expense, maybe 500, and hotel, and the Scottish Summit is just coming up. Really excited about that one. Okay. The name column is empty as expected. Let's see if this has triggered. There you are. And what you can now do is copy all this data here, the complete record, and open it in something like Visual Code. And this is for a couple of reasons, mainly because what we are looking for, one piece of that information, the date. So just to remember, we want to fill the name column with the username, the date, and the expense type. And while date will be available for us directly, and let's insert a compose to help us see what's going on. So the compose action is really your friend. You use it as much as needed. So compose date, and if we go here and look for date, you will find it there directly. On the other hand, if you look for username, and let's name this also username. So look for created by, you will find type and value, and neither of these will give you the actual name of the user. But that name is available here, as you can see. So what you can do is look at this action here and look at the formula and adapt this formula to get what you need. And it's really simple. You see this body, if you notice the end of the formula is body slash the name of the key where the value you are looking for is. So if you take another look at this JSON here, you will find that the key you need is this one. So I have this prepared here just to make it a bit simpler for this video, but you can go in here, expression, and then the formula, which I can put there maybe in the notes, just to make it add a note. Okay, as you can see, outputs of get a row by ID, body slash, and then the name of the key where the value we want is. And we can do exactly the same thing for the expense type. Compose. So if we go here and look for type, you get the same thing, type and value. Okay? And this is actually normal, since these are lookups to other tables, so they behave like this. Again, let's get the value we want, and it's here. In the same way, we will be getting the username. So expression, okay, let's add the note so you can take a look at the formula. So outputs of get a row by ID, and then that long string that will get you the name. Let's run this and see if it's working as intended. Okay, so date, not really what we're looking for, but we'll get to that. The username, and I forgot to name this one, the expense type. So let's take care of this date here, because we don't really want the time part of it. Let's edit this and start by naming this step. Okay, expense type. And as for this date, what we can do is enclose the value in a format date time, and then we will be looking for the date and the format we want. Okay, month and day. So I'm from Portugal, and this is the European way. Okay, so month in the middle, and let's test it again. And it looks much better. So compose is your Power Automate buddy, so take advantage of that. Finally, we can now update the record. So data verse and update a row. The table expenses and the record and what we want to do now is get username, maybe a pipe, then expense type, another pipe, and finally date. Let's run this. And refresh this, and the name is there. So really simple flow, but not really the best user experience, right? So it doesn't happen right away. Maybe if we do a new one, it will become more apparent. Let's okay, a new one, this time maybe, I don't know, 150 for food, expensive food, and save. So the name isn't there, and you have to refresh it. It was quick, okay, but you have to refresh it in order to see how it got populated. Let's now try the workflow, the classic workflow. So first, let's turn this Cloudflow off. Turn off. And to build a classic workflow, go to New, Automation, and Process Workflow. Give it a name, so expense name, and you'll want to take deselect this. We'll get to this in a moment or so. Let's choose the table, expense, and create. We'll now be taken to a more legacy experience. As you can see, the interface is a bit different, but the options are here, are the same. So let's do this organization scope when the record is created, and then let's add a step. And we want to update record. Then set properties. Now, this is something peculiar that happens here. As you can see, this name is not available for us to update. So let's close this and save and close. We'll be back here. The reason for this is that we have set that field as read-only in the form. So we'll have to open the form. Enable this for editing. Okay, let's see here in this quick create one, maybe it's read only also. It is. So let's open this. This means we will have to get back to this and set the field as read-only again. But we need to have it open for edit in order to create our workflow as we want to. So workflows are organized here in processes. And now we should be able to configure the name column. And what we want to do with this is have the user's full name. So look for created by and full name. Okay, add and okay here. You can insert the pipes as we did in Power Automate, and then let's look for the other field we want. It's expense type, so let's look at the expense type table and we want its name and add this. Okay, so as you can see, the interface isn't as friendly as in Power Automate, I guess, but you can still work with it. And finally, we want the date, okay? And the date is here, available directly. And okay, this looks good. So save and close. And now we need to save it here and activate it. Workflows won't run unless they are activated. And it's done. Close. And we can now go and insert a new expense. Okay, we'll refresh here. So I haven't set this one to read only, but you should. In this case, I'm just going to leave it open, and let's do, I don't know, we've had maybe the plane. Okay, so let's do some travel and Scottish Summit. Here I come, and save, and the name is there. Better, right? So the workflow ran and you get to see the result immediately. Power Automate flows run asynchronously in the background, while with the classic workflows, you get the option to run them synchronously. Don't push it though. Remember, the user interface gets locked until the workflow runs, so use it wisely. I use classic workflows all the time. What about you? Let me know if and how you use them. And don't forget to like, share, and please subscribe. See you soon!